we start with a sports story, shall we? All right, well, it's not actually, no, take two. It's not a sports story.
We're getting there.
We're going to get to the sports story. But listen, the New York Times is reporting that Germany right now is considering conscription. Now, what's conscription? In case you don't know, it is forced military service. And that is only if they cannot find enough volunteers to sign up for the military. The problem is so bad that Army recruiters, they decided to show up at a go-kart race. Yeah, hoping to entice kids to enlist one day. Now listen, let's bring it back home. With Canada and its NATO allies committing to spend 5% of our GDP on defense by the year 2035, would you be okay with military recruitment at kids' events to avoid possible conscription here?
Listen, I think I know where the audience stands, but I have to say, I'm okay with it. Is this any different than when they roll in the cop cars to kids' schools, right? To kids' parades? They're not brainwashing them, right? They're bringing in the tanks. Kids can go and talk to soldiers. I would rather my kid get an understanding of what military life is like from the words of a soldier than through what they see online. And also, desperate times call for desperate measures, guys. This isn't normal times. No. Germany, they polled their citizens. Only 17% of Germans would say they defend their country if attacked. So if it's between this and conscription,
or invasion, or invasion. What do you think?
Listen, I totally understand it, and I see the reason why they have to take this type of approach because of the generation that we live in. We live in the TikTok era. You know, kids want to have a soft life, and the millennial parents now as well have a different approach to parenting, right? They want, you know, gentle parenting, and it's not like the old baby boomers.
Throw them in the army?
It's not like back in the day where the baby boomers were like, they were 18-year-olds like building houses, right? That's not the era and the generation that we live in nowadays. So you have to find different ways to attract these kids, and you're gonna probably do it during these type of things.
So if your daughters went, Daddy, I really want to join the military.
Listen, I didn't say it was for me, but I understand the approach.
Yeah, I do.
Especially with the way the world is going towards right now.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I'm the only one without kids here, and I hate this. I think it's inappropriate and unethical. And I think it's really interesting. It's you know what? It's not that I have a problem with the armed forces recruiting. It's where they're recruiting. Let children be children. We have learned from history and all the mistakes that we've made that it's not right to have children working in factories, letting them smoke. We won't even let them watch horror movies. There is an age limit to certain things because we've learned that their brains aren't fully developed. So the idea that the armed forces would show up at places where, say, a 9-year-old and we're trying to channel them into this kind of lifestyle, I think is wrong. Now, if you want to do it on career day for high school students, I'm here for it. It totally makes sense. But for me, I'm like, what are we saying to our kids? And if the armed forces can do it, can the pharmaceutical company be next to do a little swing by the playground? Who else? What other organizations can swing by to talk to your kids about what they should do with their future?
But are you anti all of them? Like right now when I take my kids out, there's modeling agents walking through those crowds all the time. There's police, there's firefighters. So are you no?
Wait, police and firefighters are walking around doing what? Are they just walking around because they're supposed to be at an event, they're hired there to protect
people? They're showcasing
people?
their vehicles. But in this case, it's not like they're going to the kids and being like, you must join.
But that was a tent that you showed me. That was a tent that we saw at that go-kart. That is a tent. That is something that you only see at career day recruitments. It's like, yes, come and get a pamphlet. Come and talk to us. That's very different than someone who's in uniform walking around just being like, hey, we're here. You want to see the car? We had that. Remember the one with the eyelids that would blink? We had that, and that was cute, but that was not recruitment. That was about safety.
I also don't think that it's like they want to do this. I think they're doing this out of necessity because the numbers are so low.
I
don't love the idea myself.
Yeah, I want to take a step back.
Listen,
I want to take a step back. Right now, we are in a very pro-Canadiana era. We have had threats from our southern neighbor who we thought was our friend, who said we would like Canada to become the 51st state. So the rubber hits the road when, on the one hand, we're like, yeah, go Canada, and the other hand is, well, who's going to defend us? We need somebody to defend us if stuff hits the fan.
But is it our children?
You know, I don't know if it's our children. What I can say is I think we're giving the military a bit of a bad rap here. Only 20% of the roles in the military are actually combat. For sure. 80% of the jobs in the military are non-combat
like cooks,
roles.
chaplains,
medical
social workers.
I want to go the medical route for a second. My daughter has been saying since she's 4 years old that she wants to become a doctor. So I looked up, what does it take to become a doctor if you're in the military? Guys, it changed my mind completely. It can cost up to $300,000 in an education to become a doctor in Canada. But in the military, if you're in the military and you say, I want to become a doctor, not only do they pay for your entire education, all your tuition, all your books, all your instruments, you get paid while you're learning to be a doctor. You have full benefits, paid vacation, and a pension for life. And guess what? You only have to do 3 to 5 years service and you're out and you're a trained doctor. That sounds very good to me.
You know what? That sounds
very good to me.
You know what? That sounds
Agreed.
good to me too, because if I have a 16-year-old or a 17-year-old who's a couple years away from finishing high school and they don't know what to do, that sounds great. But my 8-year-old, leave them alone. Do not circle their playground. I'm sorry. It still doesn't make any sense to me.
I think they're just trying to entice them. I don't think, again,
Entice.
like, I don't
That's
love,
a nice word.
I don't love the idea
also some
either,
way,
Andrea. Like, I'm
somehow.
not against that, but they're coming here because they realize that there is
So
a
what's
low
like the
reserve
daycare, the
of
nurseries?
18-year-olds. It's the same thing in the hospitals.
I hate
and
to
the same
burst
thing
your
in all
bubble,
different
Andrea, but what the
industries
kids
as
are
well.
seeing, what my daughter at 8 was seeing on TikTok, and now saying, oh, I want to be a TikTok influencer, bring out the tank any day, because
Yeah.
I ain't in for that.
Yeah.
I would rather my kids be in the
I want to
military
bring up
too.
another point. There's something else I want to think about, because I am the child of immigrants, as I think a lot of us are. We are first generation. And we make up about 23% of the Canadian population, which is just roughly over 8 million people. And I know that most of our parents left their country, their home, everything they know and everyone they know to get away from war, to get away from this political instability. So I'm just curious with this, like, you know, we're trying to encourage people to sign up, how the first and second generation kids are feeling about this. I'm not saying they shouldn't, I'm just saying, I wonder, because we left for that reason. So are people kind of going, well, we came here for peace and now you're telling our children to sign up and you want to start talking to my 8-year-old about it? I don't know, to me it's a little prickly. I
I
don't
love
like
this
it.
debate, though. I really do. A lot.
So glad I don't have any kids to worry about. Jeez.
Well, listen,
Hey, you, come a bit closer. We've got so many more must-see interviews, spicy debates, lifestyle tips, and pop culture moments. So subscribe to our channel by tapping the logo below and don't miss out.